What starts as an innocent exploration can quickly turn into a nightmare you can't escape.
I'm out.
And tonight, we're diving into several disturbing encounters, shocking people around the internet. Driving on a desolate road can be calming for some, but for this woman, it turned into a pure nightmare when she spotted something horrifying.
What the fuck?
Stop.
This video was uploaded on TikTok, where a woman claimed to have seen something terrifying during her late-night drive home. In the footage, as she and her husband are driving, their car's dash cam captures a woman sitting in the middle of the road, doing something bizarre.
What the fuck?
Stop.
She appears to be holding a rock and banging it on something, but the creepiest part? It's the middle of nowhere, surrounded by dense woods.
What the fuck? Stop.
It looks like something straight out of a nightmare, but the uploader later confirmed that it was just a prank by a low-budget horror film crew. I mean, who sets up something like that just to give drivers a heart attack? One thing's for sure, people will definitely want to watch that movie now. The Grifter is an alleged cursed video that first emerged on 4chan's Paranormal board in 2009. And it wasn't just any creepy video people would find on YouTube. It's believed to be so disturbing, most people cannot watch it even now. Let me show you just a glimpse. A warning, you can skip this part if you are easily frightened. According to the legend, anyone who watches the Grifter suffers terrifying consequences, often found dead in their homes under mysterious circumstances. The only common factor among these deaths, a strange doll inexplicably discovered in their rooms. The video reportedly ends with a message in Esperanto stating, "This child, now a young man, is still alive and lives in a local shelter. He never spoke and is still in Canton." The original thread about the Grifter appeared on August 10th, 2009, posted by a user named The Solipsist. They described the video as psychologically devastating, claiming it could drive viewers to madness. The video itself, pieced together from descriptions, is unsettlingly simple. A person wanders through a hallway with a shaky camera, probably shaking out of fear. Every now and then, the cameraman peers through peepholes into rooms, and that's when we see unsettling scenes of people who appear mentally unstable, tortured, or inhuman. The whole thing, including the distorted footage, the background noises, screams, laughter, whispers, and all, just create a very creepy environment. But the true horror lies in its vagueness. Is it a warning, a cruel joke, or an experiment in psychological manipulation? The mystery surrounding the Grifter keeps it alive as one of the internet's most chilling urban legends. This urban legend started off with a video uploaded on YouTube way back in 2008 by a user named Nana825763. The reason it gained fame immediately was its creepy nature. It introduced a supposedly cursed YouTube account called 666. This is what the users back in 2008 were seeing. If you didn't get what was happening, let me tell you. The account seemed suspended at first, which is normal, but then the uploader refreshes the page repeatedly, and that's when things get weird. Each refresh brings progressively creepier changes to the site. colors distort, text becomes garbled, and eerie visuals begin to take over the screen. He clicks on the video, and that's when things just get worse. After some time, the account somehow hacks his entire browser, preventing him from closing tabs, pausing videos, or even shutting down his computer. By the end, his PC completely breaks down. It all started on a YouTube channel called Nana825763, also known as Puro Pito, on December 28, 2007. But the story initially wasn't just about YouTube. In this now long-deleted YouTube video, Puro Pito features the website Nico Nico, showcasing that users who typed SM666 into the URL would soon be consumed by this dreadful digital hell. Eventually, they too succumbed to its destruction. The video received moderate success on the channel. Then, on February 26, 2008, the channel uploaded another video, also featuring this strange phenomenon. This time, on our beloved YouTube.com. This video would blow up and become the one everyone remembers, due to the fact that very little acknowledgement of the video was ever made by the user who uploaded it, and other perfectly timed circumstances. People in the comments just came to their own conclusions about the video, came up with their own theories. From a curse to government conspiracies, or just the devil's work, there were many theories spawned. What added to the legend's creep factor was how closely it mirrored real life. Viewers who tried visiting the 666 account themselves would see it listed as suspended, just like in the video, and then it was reported that one such account had existed at one point. So why was it mysteriously removed by YouTube? This connection between what was real and what was not somehow blurred the lines for many, making people question whether the curse was more than just a cleverly done fake. While filming in the eerie backwoods of southern Illinois, a crew's camera caught something truly terrifying. This clip, uploaded to YouTube, was recorded by a crew filming for Stryker Brigade Combat Team deep in the jungle. While working on their project, they noticed a massive humanoid figure moving through the forest, covered in black hair and towering over the foliage. Its posture and walk bear a striking resemblance to what the internet commonly refers to as Bigfoot. It's unsettling to think creatures like this might roam our jungles. This first responder's ATV GoPro captured something in the forest that will haunt him forever. On a high-priority GPS medical alert, the responder rushed to aid someone near a recreational area along the North Saskatchewan River in Canada. As he tore through the twisting trails, he suddenly spotted a strange, shadowy figure standing dead still between the trees and bushes. The figure appeared to be hiding, as though stalking the ATV, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. While some are calling it Bigfoot, I don't think so. This thing feels far more intelligent and terrifying than the legendary cryptid. What do you think? Just another forest myth, or something truly sinister lurking in the wilderness? A Reddit user set up 2 trail cams deep in the forest. What they captured might just be some of the most chilling photos on the internet. This photo was taken by one of the trail cameras at the Port Madison Indian Reservation, where the user had set up the cameras. It was a dense forest, so there were never any hikers there. This photo, taken by the second camera, shows the same spot, but this time there is a shadowy, creepy figure standing in the distance. It looks like a girl, but there's something terrifyingly off about her, especially that face. The user notified the local police, assuming the figure might be lost, but the fact that this person, or whatever it is, was a mile deep in the forest with no trail nearby makes it even creepier. And that face? It doesn't look human to me. This next video shows one of the rarest US Navy encounters with a bizarre UFO that's been flying around. In 2019, US Navy personnel filmed and photographed a pyramid-shaped object flying in the sky. According to reports, this could either be a UFO or UAP, a topic discussed in the classified May 1st, 2020 briefing by the Office of Naval Intelligence. The object looks incredibly strange, and considering it comes from the Navy, it could be authentic. I can't think of anything else that fits the description. Maybe a kite? But seriously, what kind of kite reflects and glows like this? I've never seen anything like it. Dolls are unsettling, but what this homeowner has is straight up nightmare. The homeowner got this unsettling doll from a local antique auction, and since it arrived, his wife started feeling strange things happening, like finding random items on the floor. Curious, the owner decided to test it out by leaving the doll and filming while he was gone. Strange things started happening. Packs fell off the counter by themselves, and the dog got scared of something invisible. Despite all that, the owner still didn't want to throw the doll out. In the next update video, the same doll turns on another battery-powered doll, even though it had no batteries in it. The homeowner even cut the wires to make sure. As many commenters pointed out that the doll might have batteries in its feet, the owner showed in the following video that it was also empty, but the doll still worked. This is why I hate dolls, and this one, in particular, looks haunted just by its appearance. Maybe it's time for the homeowner to listen to his wife and get rid of it. This next video, uploaded on YouTube, captures a truly terrifying and unsettling creature that seems to be haunting a couple in their new home. The woman was terrified, hearing knocking and stepping noises coming from her attic.
Eu estou-me a passar porque eu não consigo dormir, eu estou cheia de medo e eu decidi hoje filmar isto porque eu tenho a certeza que se passa alguma coisa e se acontecer alguma coisa vai ficar gravado.
She called her husband to check, and you can hear the fear in her voice as he opens the attic door. Inside, it was dark, but as the husband walked around, some boxes suddenly shifted on their own. This confirmed that someone or something was definitely in there, though the low light kept it hidden. While walking down, the husband handed the camera to his wife, and during the exchange, a strange creature was captured, quickly peeking its head out. They didn't notice it at the time, but after reviewing the video, it became clear. This was definitely the thing making those noises, and my advice to the homeowner is simple: leave it in there and change homes as fast as possible. The creepy legend of Sad Satan emerged in 2015 when the YouTube channel Obscure Horror Corner, run by a man named Jamie, uploaded a series of gameplay videos of a mysterious game supposedly found on the deep web. The channel had multiple videos of Jamie playing this game, Sad Satan, but there was no narration at all. The game was speaking for itself. According to Jamie, the game was shared with him by an anonymous user using an onion link. He found it quite odd instead of straight up horrifying. All his videos showed him wandering through corridors with creepy sounds and visuals. There were even flashes every now and then, which just added to the disturbing atmosphere. But this isn't the only creepy thing about the game. Whispers of hidden content quickly spread, with some speculating that the game contained far darker material, such as real-world gore or illegal content. This rumor turned the already creepy Sad Satan into an internet legend. Jamie himself denied encountering anything extreme, but admitted that he found the game's atmosphere deeply unnerving. Whatever the truth, Sad Satan feels less like a game and more like an unsettling experience, one that lingers in your mind long after the screen fades to black. In early 2011, a Reddit user under a cryptic name began posting strings of seemingly random letters and numbers on a subreddit with the same name. For nearly a year, the post went unnoticed, dismissed as internet noise. But when people started paying attention, they realized something was off. The cryptic messages were uploaded daily and seemed almost too intentional and too precise to be random. That's what got a team of dedicated code breakers and very curious Redditors to team up and get on with solving this mystery. They even made a subreddit called Solving A858. Their efforts uncovered fragments of meaning, ASCII art, excerpts from books like Actions and Passions by Max Lerner, and even messages thanking users who interacted with the account. Despite their progress, the deeper mystery remained unsolved. The majority of this user's posts were impenetrable, with only a small percentage successfully decoded. The subreddit itself was locked for a time, and only worthy members could access it, further fueling speculation about its purpose. Years later, the creator of A858 claimed it was nothing more than an experiment in cryptography. But this explanation didn't satisfy many followers. The effort, precision, and sheer volume of posts seemed to hint at something bigger. Was it a government project, a marketing ploy, or something more sinister? Even now, the subreddit's archives remain a rabbit hole for anyone brave enough to dive in. A 858's legend lives on, a digital puzzle box that invites endless speculation and leaves behind more questions than answers. As the title suggests, Grave Robbing for Morons is a 27-minute VHS tape teaching viewers how to rob graves, clean the remains, and sell them on the black market. For years, the video has been nothing but a mystery, with debates about the narrator's identity and the authenticity of its unsettling contents.
We'll show you the coffin itself and the way we opened it and the way it was done.
The origins of this tape remain unknown, including the date, location, and circumstances of its creation. It first surfaced in a compilation of 4 short films on a DVD titled Ensuring Your Place in Hell, version 2, made anonymously around 2010. However, most people know the tape from the YouTube channel Simon Pretch, which uploaded it on August 9th, 2014, with the cryptic description, "A Scary Discovery. These teenagers' home video shows us how to rob graves." The video opens mid-conversation with a young man showing how to remove skin from a skull's forehead. The bones scattered beside him appear quite real, and so does the skull he holds. And considering the time it was recorded, many claim it would have been impossible to create such realistic props at that time, so there is a huge chance it was a real skull. Adding to the creepy atmosphere is the video's grainy and low quality, which makes it feel like something we weren't meant to see. And then there is the narrator's casual tone, discussing grave robbing techniques as though it were a very normal thing, only increasing the weirdness. Whether it's fake, real, or something darker, grave robbing for morons remains a haunting piece of underground media. Tune into radio frequency 4625 kilohertz and you'll hear the buzzer, a constant, monotonous buzzing noise that broadcasts 24/7. The station is infamous for its unsettling nature, with periodic interruptions of cryptic Russian messages composed of seemingly random strings of numbers, names, and words, which sounds something like this.
Николай, Женя, Татьяна, Иван. Николай, Женя, Татьяna, Ivan.
For decades, the true purpose of this broadcast remained a mystery, inviting hundreds of speculations about military communication and even supernatural theories. The station first came to public attention in 1982, but its origins are believed to date back to 1976. Initially, it transmitted a pair of quick pips, but in 1990, the signal shifted to the now famous buzzing tone, giving it the nickname the buzzer. These buzzes play approximately 25 times per minute, uninterrupted except for rare and chilling breaks.
А можно шутку рассказать? Один да, два нет.
On Christmas Eve, 1997, the first documented vocal transmission on the frequency disrupted the buzzing tone. A Russian voice read out a cryptic message, marking the start of the station's vocal interjections. Over the years, these interruptions have grown stranger, including the sound of someone rustling around near the microphone, harsh voices reciting sequences of names and numbers, and faint, sinister music playing in the background. The source of the buzzer was finally partially identified as UVB-76, a transmission believed to originate from a military bunker in Poverovo, a small town about 19 miles outside of Moscow. However, the Russian government has never confirmed this. Its official purpose remains ambiguous, though many theorize it's related to espionage or military readiness. Interest in the station spiked in the 2010s as recordings began circulating online. Enthusiasts dissected every nuance of its transmissions, while live streams of the frequency attracted millions of curious viewers. One of the most infamous events occurred in 2010 when the buzzing stopped entirely for 24 hours. Instead, listeners heard creepy Morse code, faint conversations, and unsettling sounds. When the buzzing resumed, it was slightly altered, leading some to believe the event was deliberate, a cryptic message in itself. The advancement of technology is scary to some, but for this little girl, it was a lifesaver. This video comes from a sheriff's aviation unit that used thermal imaging to guide deputies to a missing 5-year-old who wandered into a swampy area near Tampa. You can spot a white warm spot in the dense jungle, showing where the child is.
I got her in the woods. Yeah, she might be able to hear your name if you call her for now. She's going to be about, I would say, about 80 feet in front of you.
Later, the ground unit rushed to the location and found the child in the swamp. In a heart-stopping moment, she was rescued by the deputy.
Let's get you out of the water.
It's chilling to think about what the child must have felt, but thanks to the authorities and the technology of thermal imaging, they were able to find her. Without it, searching that dense jungle would have been nearly impossible. Fishing is supposed to be a fun and calming experience, but not when you're being stalked by what might be a skinwalker. These guys were out fishing when they heard a strange mix of a scream and a sneeze coming from the woods ahead.
Oh, you alright? Bless you!
At first, they thought it was just someone sneezing and continued fishing, but the sounds came back multiple times, now sounding more like terrifying screams.
The skinwalker? Caden?
Wanna leave?
We'll be alright. It's daytime. They don't come out during the daytime. Oh my gosh.
What is that?
I don't know. I've never heard that noise in my life. Bless you!
They even noticed something running in the woods along the shore, and according to them, it was incredibly fast.
How's it all the way over there now?
Dude, what is that? That's got... It's cooking. It just moved like 200 yards.
This is beyond creepy. Whatever that thing is, it doesn't seem to have good intentions. Some are saying it's a skinwalker, creatures that disguise themselves as animals or even humans to lure their victims. In this case, it seems to be screaming to draw these two closer, but for what reason? God only knows. Hearing rumors about the infamous blue ghost tunnel, these YouTubers decided to investigate, a decision they soon regretted. This video, uploaded by the channel Jack Slaughters, documents their eerie venture into the tunnel, which locals claim is haunted.
Yeah, this is it. The Blue Ghost Tunnel. Look at that.
Inside, it was pitch dark, but the real terror began when they heard footsteps approaching from deep within the tunnel.
I can hear your footsteps.
Adding to the unease, outside, he kept hearing what sounded like a distant train, even though the tracks above were under construction.
I've just been informed that there's no trains in this area anymore.
They returned to the tunnel to explore further, but were startled by a strange light flickering at the far end. Tay couldn't identify what it was, but it left them deeply unsettled.
For a second time, I'm trying to find the other side of how you get to the other side. I can see a light at the end of this tunnel, but I can't see where the bridge and the tunnel intersect. If that's you coming closer to me, could you please stop? I just seen a light at the end of the tunnel. What the fuck?
This was creepy, especially with no clue where the light at the tunnel's end came from. The tunnel also has an eerie history, including a German church from 1773, a nearby cemetery, and a deadly train crash in 1888. Plenty to fuel rumors of it being haunted. We all love flipping through old photo memories, but sometimes what starts as nostalgia can spiral into a bone-chilling realization. This photo, shared by a Reddit user, was taken by her boyfriend back in 2013 along the Thames Path in the UK. It's a serene shot of a trail, seemingly leading to a clearing between the trees, until you take a closer look. When zoomed in, a bright white figure appears to be standing at the end of the trail, and it seems to shift slightly between the first and second photos. What's eerie is that they only noticed this strange figure 11 years later. Whatever it was, something or someone was waiting at the end of that trail that day. A haunting memory indeed. Some people believe we live in a matrix, and glitches in reality occasionally show up. This video might just be proof of that. A TikTok video captures what looks like a plane stuck in midair, completely motionless. Even the banner it's towing seems frozen in place.
Glitch in the matrix. Sees me walking. I'm walking. Look. This plane. Is it moving?
I've seen several videos like this, but most don't offer an explanation. One insightful comment, however, explained it could be due to a headwind and tailwind phenomenon, where pilots can achieve 0 knots ground speed, making the plane appear to hover. Still, it's a pretty surreal sight to witness. There are signs, and then there are full-blown warnings, which this homeowner seems to be getting. This TikTok clip shows a homeowner experiencing some seriously creepy paranormal activity. Right from the start, you can hear loud banging noises coming from the back room. Then, out of nowhere, his kid kick scooter moves all by itself. When the homeowner tries to put the scooter back, the bathroom door suddenly swings open on its own. Despite being visibly shaken, they check inside, but no one's there. To make it even weirder, you can see the toilet paper blowing up mysteriously. This house clearly has some strange paranormal activity going on, and it's hard to ignore. What would you do if you were in their shoes? Let us know in the comments. This next video comes from a famous Arab paranormal explorer, and it might just be the worst night of his life. Even while he's introducing this haunted house exploration, strange things start happening. Objects fall, and then a creepy cat appears, sitting there and staring blankly at him.
جدا تخيل لو دخلت من قبل 3 سنوات والموقع بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
As he continues his exploration, his camera accidentally captures a strange black figure standing in the doorway at a distance. He doesn't seem to notice it, but whatever it was, it definitely noticed him. Later, while climbing the stairs, loud, aggressive footsteps and a metallic clacking sound echo through the house. Just as he reaches the top, a door creaks open in front of him.
Bismillah. Bismillah. قسم بالله في صوت. بابا انفتح.
And then, as he's walking out of a room, the camera again catches that same black figure, this time peeking from within another room. The video ends after some more exploration, but it leaves us wondering, what was that thing lurking in the darkness? And what if the explorer had stayed just a little longer? Honestly, I don't even want to know. Being a security guard might seem like a routine job until you're tasked with checking out apartments like these. These video clips were recorded by a building security guard who spotted eerie outlines of figures inside apartments that were completely locked and unused. In the first clip, one of these figures vanishes the moment it's noticed.
Yeah, it's still there. Okay.
In the second clip, two humanoid figures appear to be standing by a window, just staring outside, until something suddenly gets thrown at the glass. Later, in another video, the same figures can still be seen standing by the window, completely unmoving.
Is that like a fire alarm or something?
The building manager stays in constant communication with the guard as these events unfold. Honestly, no paycheck, even $1 million, could convince me to check out what's going on in there. This is straight up chilling. In 2009, a 3-minute film was released online that was supposedly from the 70s. The film was supposedly found at an estate sale in the Laura Pentia of Michigan. There was no information about where the film was shot or who shot it, but there was an inscription on the side of the film canister, which led this film to be called the Gable Film. The film appears to be just a home movie. It shows some people doing various things like riding on snowmobiles or chopping wood. However, the film takes an unexpected turn, and this happens. The creature quickly charges at the cameraman, and the footage ends abruptly, leaving viewers with a terrifying cliffhanger. The story doesn't end there, though. There was actually a part 2 to this film that was uncovered. This shows a video that appears to be taken by police who investigated the film. They ended up finding the body of the cameraman who encountered the creature. What we saw before essentially just shows a man with the entire lower half of his body missing, presumably eaten off by the creature. When this video was first released, there were a lot of people wondering whether or not this was actually real. Of course, people also questioned what exactly the creature was that attacked the cameraman. Turned out it was a cryptid known as the Michigan Dogman. The uploader of the film, Steve Cook, initially presented it as authentic, even going so far as to include interviews with supposed eyewitnesses. But in 2010, Cook admitted that the video was a fake. The creature was actually a friend in a costume, and the footage had been carefully crafted to look like genuine 1970s home video. Despite the confession, many people refuse to believe it's fake. They argue that the sheer realism of the footage, combined with the eerie atmosphere, makes it too convincing to dismiss. Even knowing the truth, the Gable film retains its power to unsettle. The slow buildup, the abrupt ending, all combine to create a sense of creepiness that's hard to shake. Supposedly, in a video from 2006 uploaded by Robert Lee Dirt, which has almost 500,000 views, the description says, "The Paulding Light." It is also known as the Dog Meadow Lights, which have been a mystery in Upper Michigan for over 40 years to this day. The light appears as a shimmering orb, sometimes white, other times red or green, hovering and pulsating in the distance. It seems to defy explanation, shining brightly one moment, disappearing the next.
Oh, this is unbelievable, man.
Yeah, let's go back, charge the battery.
Jamie. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, Tony, check it out. Let Tony check it out.
Locals have passed down numerous tales to explain the light. The most popular story involves the ghost of a railroad brakeman who was struck and killed while signaling to a train with his lantern. Another legend speaks of a distraught mail carrier searching for a lost child, his lamp still flickering in the woods after all these years. In the 2010s, students from Michigan Tech tried to debunk the mystery using high-powered telescopes and mapping techniques. They concluded that the light was likely car headlights from a nearby highway, refracted through the atmosphere. But not everyone is convinced. Those who've seen the light up close claim it doesn't move like car headlights. It flickers, dances, and even splits into multiple lights. June and Jennifer Gibbons, known as the Silent Twins, were born in 1963 in Barbados before moving to Wales with their family. From a young age, they showed unusual behavior, refusing to speak to anyone except each other. And when they did communicate, it was in a private language which no one knew, not even their own family members. But where this isolation became fascinating for themselves, where no one could understand them apart from each other, it also became quite toxic quite soon, without them realizing. As they mirrored each other so often, they lost any individuality when separated.
We're happy. We knew we were twins at that age. We had each other. We didn't need anybody else, really.
Despite their silence with others, their diaries reveal intense emotional turmoil and even hatred toward each other, stemming from their codependency. But then their story took a darker turn during their teenage years. The twins began engaging in petty crimes like arson and vandalism, eventually landing them in Broadmoor, a high-security psychiatric hospital. It was here that their shared delusions and mutual obsession became most apparent. Jennifer, in particular, seemed to hold a dominant influence over June. In 1993, after nearly 12 years of confinement, the twins were set to be transferred to a less restrictive facility. During the transfer, Jennifer unexpectedly fell into a coma and passed away. Autopsy reports showed no clear cause, leading June to claim that Jennifer had willed herself to pass away so that June could finally live independently.
Like here more. I was born twin, I died twin. That's the way it goes.
In 2018, a mysterious YouTube channel called Daisy Brown appeared, and the algorithm decided to push it so hard it had everyone talking about it. It featured Daisy and showed her unusual life, isolated in a small, dark home, and her only task was caring for a bizarre creature named Alan. Alan looked like a human-animal hybrid, which Daisy seemed to treat like her baby, but there was something unsettling about him. Bulging eyes, malformed limbs, and grotesque features, which made him hard to view as anything but creepy. At first, Daisy's videos seemed harmless, even endearing. She documented her efforts to care for Alan, feeding him peculiar mixtures of food and treating him like a cherished companion. But as time went on, her videos took a darker turn. At times, Alan seemed innocent and needy. At others, violent and uncontrollable.
What do you need that for? Are you going somewhere?
This escalation reached its peak when Alan's health began to fail. Daisy's attempts to save him led to a string of frantic, emotionally charged videos. In one of the final uploads, Alan violently attacked Daisy, leaving viewers wondering whether she survived.
Look out on me like that.
I'm not scared of you.
Just like you're not scared of cars, right?
Shortly after, the channel went silent, abruptly ending the story and leaving its audience with countless unanswered questions. The channel had everyone confused, so of course, theories began to flood in. Some believed it was an alternate reality game, pointing to the details, storytelling, and hidden elements in the videos. According to them, there were even cryptic messages scattered throughout. Others interpreted the series as a chilling allegory for trauma, mental illness, and abuse, presented through a horror lens. To this day, the mystery of Daisy Brown remains unsolved. Every town has a dark side, but especially for Fairfax County, Virginia, where a legend has it that a madman sometimes comes out at night to hunt those wandering the streets. He's been reported to the police by hundreds of people who have either spotted him or had a terrifying encounter face to face with him.
No! There it is! There it is, guys! Hold on! No! Stop! No, we're not going under this! No! No, here it is! Ah!
Anyone living within a 100-mile radius of this area has grown up hearing stories about the man who lives in the woods, showing up in fields, under bridges, and on people's porches. He's damaged and broken people's property and threatened countless individuals who were just unlucky enough to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. When you see this psychopath, you'll know it right away. It's likely he'll be carrying an axe, and he's always dressed head to toe in a grown man's rabbit suit, earning him the nickname the Bunny Man.
Right behind me is Bunny Man's Bridge. So if you guys don't know, apparently there was a psychopath that would dress as a bunny and kill people with...
Now, the Bunny Man story spread fast. Teens dared each other to visit Bunny Man Bridge at midnight, and people reported seeing a shadowy figure lurking near the bridge, holding a hatchet or axe. It quickly became the ultimate spooky local legend.
Apparently he hides in the woods near here.
But here's the twist. It wasn't all just stories. It's loosely based on a true story. It all happened in October 1970.
Individual, described as dressed in a bunny suit, attacked a couple that were parked in a car near Burke, Virginia. Apparently is said to have confronted them with some kind of a line having to do with your trespassing or something close to that, and threw a hatchet through the car window.
Terrified, the couple left the area immediately before they had a chance to get a good look at the guy. When they reported the incident to the police, they mentioned that the guy had been dressed in light-colored clothing and may or may not have been wearing something white on his head. Although the couple never mentioned anything about a bunny, once the story hit the news, people started claiming that the hatchet thrower had been wearing bunny ears. Pretty soon, rumors of a man in a bunny suit threatening kids in the woods with a hatchet started surfacing all over the DMV area. As the years went by, the stories grew wilder and harder to believe. Over time, the legend of the Bunny Man became pretty mainstream, with the bridge on Colchester Road even being renamed Bunny Man Bridge. Just 10 days later, another report came in. A security guard saw a man in a bunny suit smashing windows on a porch with an axe. Again, the bunny man slipped away before the cops could catch him.
Despite law enforcement efforts, the bunny man was never caught.
Since then, many people have went to the bridge to see if they can find the infamous bunny man, and almost all of them felt something creepy.
Into the bridge, I just kind of get like chills.
Whether it's a psycho in a costume or just a story that refuses to fade away, people still report sightings. And one thing's for sure, no one wants to be near that bridge when the bunny man decides to show up. Cropsey is the kind of legend that'll make you think twice about wandering in the woods alone, even during the daytime. He's known for holding kids captive and has been haunting the streets of Staten Island for decades. But if you go back in time to the 1970s, you would have heard about him from every angle, since that's when the legend took off.
The body of a young child was found buried in a fresh grave on Staten Island last night. It was a young girl.
The story of Cropsey is heart-wrenching and fueled by revenge. He was a father who lost his beloved son, and in his grief, he lost his mind and started abducting other children to cope with his pain.
Don't go behind the Sherwood bunks. Cropsey's out there.
But this isn't all. According to the legend, Cropsey had a very creepy appearance, with a hook in place of his hand, scars and burns covering his entire body, and open wounds. It didn't take long for this legend to reach mainstream media, and soon, it wasn't just Staten Island. The whole world knew about it.
No, that's JCC camp over to the left. And right here, this is CVA, the TV wards. Our camp counselors would lead us down this path, and they'd come out of the buildings and scare us. You know, this is where we thought that Cropsey lived.
Now, it's important to note that the legend has some obviously made-up elements, such as the hooked hand and the terrifying scars and burns. And here's where things get even scarier. Unfortunately, Cropsey wasn't just a made-up, horrifying idea. It turned out to be very true.
At what point, though, in your life did you start to realize, hey, maybe Cropsey is real?
When kids started disappearing from Staten Island.
One of the first victims was 5-year-old Alice Pereira, who vanished without a trace. Throughout the 70s and 80s, Andre Rand was the prime suspect in multiple child disappearances, but police lacked the evidence to lock him up for good. In 1983, he was arrested after taking 11 kids from a YMCA to an airport, earning a 10-month sentence. That's when the line between legend and reality started to blur, and the story of the real Cropsey quickly replaced the urban legend. Years went by without answers, until one day, in 1989, a man named Andre Rand was arrested. Rand, who had previously been a custodian at Willowbrook State School, was linked to the disappearances after an investigation uncovered disturbing evidence that tied him to the area. The breakthrough came in 1987 when evidence linked Rand to the tragic passing away of Jennifer Schweiger, a 12-year-old girl with Down syndrome. He was sentenced to 25 years to life. In 2004, he was also convicted of abduction, ensuring he remains behind bars until 2037. By then, he'll be 93, if he survives that long. This man had been living in the woods near an abandoned asylum all alone, and it was later revealed that he had been abducting those innocent children. He then ended their lives as well.
The mentally retarded, and I think particularly at Willowbrook that we have a situation that borders on a snake pit, and that the children live in filth, that many of our fellow citizens are suffering tremendously because lack of attention, lack of imagination, lack of adequate manpower.
And with this, the whole of Staten Island was in shock. The legend had started to feel real for the people living there, as they realized how they didn't know such a man had been living among them for so many years. doing such horrible things to children. Though possibly just an urban legend, the real-life connections of Candyman are, in many cases, far more horrifying than a scary movie. However, the real-life Candyman story and crimes are so appalling and heartbreaking, you'll wish they were only a movie. Unfortunately, Candyman wasn't just the result of someone's imagination. It was a real man who went by the name Ronald Clark O'Brien, a man who turned an urban myth into a literal nightmare.
That before Halloween, O'Brien asked if he could bring his children over to trick-or-treat with the Bates children on Halloween night.
On Halloween night in 1974, O'Brien laced pixie sticks with cyanide and gave them to kids, including his own 8-year-old son, Timothy. Just hours after eating the candy, Timothy passed away. During the investigation, some very horrible details were uncovered.
His conversations about asking friends about the effects of cyanide, how much would it take and how often, and he, in the previous few weeks leading up to Halloween, he had talked to about 6 other non-related people about the effects of cyanide.
And the reason was way more terrifying than the act, because he did it for insurance money. He took out life insurance policies on his children just before Halloween, then planned this whole thing to make it look like some random psycho was out there poisoning kids. His plan was to unalive his own son and cash in on the policy, but he also handed out poison candy to other kids to cover his tracks. But Ronald wasn't as slick as he thought. Police pieced it together, and in 1984, he met his end. Now, this case blew up the fear of poisoned candy. Parents started inspecting every piece of Halloween loot with a magnifying glass.
It's one of the main reasons that we as parents and our parents before us made us check our Halloween candy.
Some even banned trick-or-treating altogether. It cemented the myth of the Candyman forever, even though O'Brien's was one of the only confirmed cases of this horror actually happening. But the fear didn't stop there. In 2018, a 14-year-old boy in Minneapolis grabbed a candy bar from his Halloween stash, took a bite, and felt a sharp sting in his mouth. The kid pulled out a sewing needle that had been jammed inside the chocolate. The man responsible, one of his neighbors, who apparently thought this was a hilarious prank. And these aren't just creepy stories parents tell to keep their kids cautious. They happened, and it makes you wonder if the real danger isn't just the myth, but the people willing to make it real. This patrolman heard strange noises coming from a plane, and as per airline protocol, he went to investigate. What he found was absolutely chilling.
No mames.
Francisco Hernandez, finishing his shift, heard an eerie noise coming from the plane and decided to check it out. As the 32-year-old shined his flashlight down the aisle, a shadowy figure repeatedly peered around the corner at him. At first, he thought he was imagining it, but as it appeared again, he realized something, or someone, was there who definitely shouldn't be.
Verga. ¿Qué fue eso? No mames.
Honestly, even for $1 million, you wouldn't catch me checking out creepy dark places like that. No way. Nature is often beautiful, but sometimes it gets so weird, it downright terrifies us. This clip, recorded by a homeowner in Papillion, Nebraska, captures eerie sounds coming from the sky, like someone dragging a heavy metal object across a floor.
What is that noise?
YouTuber Chilling Scares also covered these strange noises in one of his videos, noting similar sounds have been recorded worldwide. The most common is a persistent hum, first reported in the late 70s in Bristol, England. In some cases, these noises were so distressing that one person in the UK tragically ended their life. Logically, many of these sounds can be explained. In this case, it could be natural gas pressure releasing from a nearby well, or even a malfunctioning tornado siren during harsh weather. Whatever the cause, it's unsettling enough to give anyone chills. This Reddit user stunned the whole internet community by sharing this recent UFO sighting. The video, filmed on November 28th, 2023, over Tana, a village in Neath, Wales, shows a bizarre flying object which looked like a cube seemingly encased in a transparent sphere. Commenters are in a frenzy, with theories ranging from it being a UFO to a 5D object. The most intriguing is from one commenter that it's an NHI, non-human intelligence craft, potentially created by an advanced alien civilization. What do you think? Is this proof of something extraordinary, or just another mystery in the skies? Now, this one's different from others. The hitchhiker ghost does not eliminate you or attack you. It will ask for a lift like a very normal person. But the real terror starts when you've already had the ghost. Most probably a woman in a dress, sitting in your back seat.
Hi, you want a lift?
But then, when you pull up to where they said they were going, the seat is empty. They're gone. The ghost hitchhiker is one of the most enduring urban legends. It's a tale that's been shared for decades, but what's strange is the number of real-life reports that have surfaced. People swear they've had encounters just like this. Strange, unexplained rides with passengers who vanish into thin air.
And well, I told her I must get away from that place. That's when I accelerated. And like I said, at about 150 or 160 knots, she gave me a few whacks against the head, and then she just disappeared.
Phantom hitchhiker stories are like that one viral TikTok. They keep popping up no matter how much you scroll past. But some encounters? Yeah, they hit different. In March 1968, Maria Rue and her fiancé were cruising through the Karoo Desert on the N9 near Uniondale when bam, a crash. Maria didn't make it.
Volkswagen Beetle off the road, and a girl was lying on her back with her head against the one embankment. She had died of head injuries.
Fast forward to Good Friday, 1976. Anton Lagrange stops for a young woman on the N9. She gets in, they chat, and then a few minutes later, she's just gone. The guy gets so freaked he goes to the police. Officer Potgieter, probably not believing him, still decides to go and look into what he was saying, and there they found the girl's body on the same highway. It was her ghost asking for that lift. Then, in 1978, Douwe van Niekerk offered a lift on his motorcycle. A few miles later, his passenger vanished, and her helmet had melted. Locals say Maria Rue's restless spirit is still out there, swiping rides and refusing to leave the N9. Then Sam Kearns and his friend stopped for a woman soaked in rain, wearing just an evening gown at 2 a.m. They offered her a ride home near Twin Peaks, gave her a blanket, and made small talk, but she wasn't talking a lot. And then, as expected, moments later, she too vanished from the back seat, leaving just the blanket behind. The men found her mom's house, only to be told she passed away 2 years earlier in a crash. These stories can't all be explained by coincidence. Something haunts the roads, and for some, the ghostly hitchhiker is a reality they'll never forget. Crop circle have been one of the most intriguing mysteries for decades. These vast patterns appear overnight in fields, ranging from simple shapes to intricate geometric designs. While some believe they're evidence of alien life, others think they're just fake. Yet, the weird precision of these formations continues to confuse, sparking theories and questions about their true origins.
It's a mystery as old as the hills. Just how do these perfect circles appear in the middle of cornfields?
Though crop circles first gained popularity in England in the late 1970s, they became a global phenomenon during the 1980s. These designs, sometimes hundreds of feet wide, appeared almost overnight, with their perfection leaving many shocked. Beginning in the late 1970s, simple crop circles started appearing in the fields of southern England, particularly in Wiltshire, Oxfordshire, Somerset, and Gloucestershire. As the years went on, the designs grew in complexity, with geometric patterns becoming more elaborate and spanning vast distances. The key feature that intrigued observers was that the plants seemed bent but not broken, something that many believed ruled out human involvement. Theories emerged, suggesting that crop circles might be created by some unknown natural force or even extraterrestrials.
To me, it's very fascinating because it essentially shows that they're trying to somehow communicate with us. So the idea is that perhaps some of these crop circles indeed are messages from elsewhere.
In 1991, however, the mystery took a turn when Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley, two men from Southampton, England, revealed that they had created more than 200 crop circles since the late 1970s, using nothing but planks and ropes.
And one evening, summer evening, we saw a cornfield, and I remarked to him about this. And I said, why don't we put a circular depression in this cornfield, the same as they had out in Australia? I said, the UFO Society here, which was at its height at the time.
Their inspiration came from a 1966 UFO sighting in Tully, Queensland, Australia, where a flying saucer allegedly landed in a lagoon, leaving behind a circular formation in the reeds. As crop circles gained more media attention, Bauer and Chorley pushed the boundaries, creating increasingly complex designs, much to the amusement of the public and frustration of researchers.
And I thought if we created a circular mark in a cornfield, by the next morning, the general public would think that a UFO had landed during the night.
While most crop circles are now considered fake, some still appear in remote, untouched areas with no signs of human activity. The perfect symmetry of these shapes continues to spark speculation. Could they be more than just a prank? Could there be hidden meaning or an ancient message buried in the fields? Some theorists believe that crop circles may be linked to an ancient, lost civilization. Shows like Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix explore this theory, suggesting that humanity's history goes much deeper than we've been told. These crop patterns could be relics of a forgotten civilization, or even symbols that carry ancient knowledge, resurfacing today. One of the most popular comparisons is between crop circles and the Nazca lines in Peru. These massive geoglyphs, animals, plants, and geometric shapes can only be fully appreciated from the sky. Many believe the Nazca lines were created as messages for extraterrestrials or celestial beings, possibly by a civilization with advanced knowledge of geometry or technology. The idea is that the same civilization responsible for the Nazca lines could be behind crop circles, sharing their knowledge with us through these mysterious formations.
Many researchers suggest there are now enough reports of unusual activity around crop circles to disprove a highly publicized claim made over 30 years ago, that all such formations are man-made.
With all the strange crop circles appearing worldwide, one question remains. Are they just fake, or is there something deeper, a hidden message or ancient knowledge waiting to be uncovered? It was an early March evening when a young couple parked in a remote forest clearing. After a while, the man said he needed to use the bathroom. His girlfriend protested, nervous about being alone, but he reassured her, insisting there was no one around. After a brief argument, he left, promising to return quickly. To pass the time, the girlfriend turned on the radio.
This morning, he was last seen armed with a metal hook. Just in, eyewitness accounts place the man's last known whereabouts at Griffith Park. Los Angeles Police Department urges residents to stay inside.
Missing his right hand, he used a steel hook as his weapon. He'd already executed one orderly and injured 2 others. The broadcast urged everyone to stay inside, but the girlfriend was already alone in the woods. Scared, she hoped her boyfriend would return. Suddenly, a loud thump came from the roof of the car. She froze, then heard it again. However, as the noise came closer, it appeared to be her boyfriend. Scared, she asked him to just go home as the place was too creepy to stay.
What's got you all spooked?
We need to go.
What? We just got here. What was that?
We need to leave.
They left, leaving someone behind who was ready to attack as soon as he got the chance. And they actually survived, but no, they dodged a bullet. If she hadn't locked her door, they would have both been dust. But this isn't just a story from fiction. Lovers Lane murders have been a recurring theme in American crime.
A quiet 23-mile stretch of highway has long been thought to be the hunting ground for a suspected serial killer who may have violently attacked several couples at potential Lovers Lane areas.
And one of the most notorious cases occurred in Texarkana, Texas in 1946. Located on the border between Texas and Arkansas, the incident became infamous as the Texarkana Moonlight Murders. On February 22nd, James Hollis and Mary Larry were parked on a secluded road after a movie when a masked man approached their car. Holding a flashlight, he ordered them out of the car and demanded that James remove his pants. After James complied, the man struck him in the head with a gun. He then assaulted Mary, but let her escape, only to chase her down and assault her again. Both victims survived, and after James regained consciousness, he flagged down a passing car. Mary ran to a nearby house to call the police, but by the time the authorities arrived, the attacker had vanished. This was just the beginning. Over the next 2 months, he struck again, taking the lives of 2 more couples.
Their bodies were never found, but the car was left parked on the Colonial Parkway. There was an intensive investigation of the parkway during their double homicide, looking for the bodies in the water with dive teams and helicopters and dogs. Not one shred of evidence was ever found other than the car.
The case sent shockwaves through Texarkana, and despite extensive investigations, the attacker was never caught. The mystery was further solidified when the case inspired the 1976 horror film, The Town That Dreaded Sundown. The true horror of the Texarkana Moonlight Murders still lingers in the area, blending the line between fact and folklore.
In this video, we find a man running into a forest. The shaky, blurry nature of the video, caused by the rapid movement and possibly the filmer's heightened state of adrenaline, initially obscures the reason behind this frenzied dash through the trees. For a brief moment, the man pauses, allowing the camera to focus on what has spurred his flight: a dark, hairy figure moving stealthily behind the veil of the forest's foliage. The glimpse is fleeting and details are scant, leaving viewers in suspense, questioning what they've just seen. The chase resumes, with the sound of hurried footsteps and the man's heavy breathing dominating the soundtrack of this impromptu forest thriller. It's not until the next pause in his escape that the camera finally captures a clearer image of the pursuer. Emerging from behind the trees is a tall, bipedal, black, and profoundly hairy creature, moving with an eerie deliberateness. Its appearance for those fleeting seconds is strikingly reminiscent of the legendary Bigfoot. This video leaves me with many questions. What was that creature, and why was it moving so fast that the man had to run just to catch a glimpse of it? What is hiding out there into the forest?
This next video takes us inside a laboratory, experiencing one of the most terrifying hauntings ever. The activity in this facility has scared employees to their core. Drawers slide open on their own, furniture moves mysteriously, and eerie hands appear from behind doors. The most chilling of them all was this shadowy figure who was captured lurking underground by one of the workers. Whatever's haunting this place seems bold, making its presence known without hesitation. Let's hope it never comes face to face with an employee. A house is meant to be a place of safety, but that changes when the unknown decides to move in. This video, uploaded by Michael D. Maggi, claims to document 5 years of paranormal activity in his home. The entity seems to have a knack for breaking ceramic cups and plates, leaving no doubt something strange is happening. The real question is, why is he still living there after experiencing all of this? Maybe he's made peace with it. Hearing a chair move, Armory security officer Alex started recording on his phone. But what he captured next might make him rethink his job. The second time he stopped, he captured the doors opening toward the lounge. According to Alex, he was the only person in the Armory during his shift.
Oh, hell no.
The YouTube video description reveals that others have reported strange spirit sightings at this San Francisco Armory. It's unsettling to think even law enforcement isn't immune to the unknown. If you're a paranormal enthusiast, you've probably heard of Leeds Castle. If not, this next clip will show you why it's so infamous. The video was filmed at Leeds Castle in England, rumored to be haunted by the 13-month-old daughter of King Henry VIII. She tragically died from a controversial wound to her head while playing in her royal bedroom. Curious, the YouTuber placed a camera in the window of the princess's royal bedroom, and it captured a strange apparition that looks like a child wandering around. It's hard to dismiss this one as a camera glitch or glare. There's clearly the outline of a little girl with black hair. This could be more than just a ghost story. It might be proof of Leeds Castle's haunted reputation. This couple, while reviewing footage from their security camera, stumbled upon something they weren't meant to see. Uploaded to Reddit, this eerie video was captured by a security camera. In it, a man is seen picking up bags off the ground, but something strange zips by in the background. It was a translucent, smoky figure. Its shape was also pretty humanoid, suggesting that there might be more lurking in the darkness than meets the eye at night. Nature is strange, but sometimes it gets so odd that it feels like a sign from something higher. This video, captured from a plane flying over Argentina, shows a mysterious figure, or possibly a structure, peeking through the clouds. The video suggests it could be the chariot of the Lord, and honestly, I can't think of any other explanation for what it might be. Maybe it's a tall building, or some kind of weather phenomenon, but whatever it is, it's downright creepy, especially when it's at the same altitude as a plane full of passengers. Next, we have chilling footage of a ghostly figure seen swimming in a lake. This eerie encounter was captured by YouTube channel owner Hina while she was out on a picnic with her sister. As they relaxed by the water, Hina spotted a mysterious figure dressed in all white, wading through the lake. Though it appeared human, the way she moved, all alone near the trees, was unsettling. What made it even more disturbing was the figure's pale face, much too lifeless and ghostly for a normal person, suggesting she might not be human after all.
Oh my god, what the F is that? Look, no.
Whether you're a believer in extraterrestrial life or not, this next video might just shake you to your core. This UFO footage was published on an unknown YouTube channel 12 years ago. Rand features an object that strikingly resembles the official image of the unknown object shot down over the Yukon in 2023, as reported by CTV News. What's even more unsettling is how fast and effortlessly the object flashes across the sky, hinting at advanced technology far beyond anything we know. Whatever it is, it seems to have been lurking around Earth for reasons that remain a mystery, leaving us wondering what they want. Stop it, aliens. It's getting terrifying. If the last video didn't make you question the existence of extraterrestrial life, this one definitely will. Filmed in Belgrade, Serbia, by a homeowner in April 2020. This footage captures a strange, burning bright object soaring through the night sky. Its appearance was otherworldly, roiling like the surface of the sun, radiating intense luminosity. The moment it realized it was spotted, it flashed and vanished with breathtaking speed. What makes this even more intriguing is that a former intelligence official wrote a report about the sighting, which was later entered into the congressional record. The event was also filmed by others across the globe, adding to its authenticity. Now, the question remains, was it some kind of alien spacecraft or something far more sinister? What do you think? Disneyland was my favorite place as a child, but after seeing this video, even as an adult, I'm terrified of going back. While a family was enjoying a boat ride at Tokyo Disneyland, the camera accidentally captured something chilling, an eerie head followed by a hand appearing on the side of the boat. It looked like the hand of a monkey or some other primate, but what's strange is that nothing was seen coming or going. The way it slowly placed its fingers on the boat was downright unsettling. Even more eerie is that the family, including young children, seemed completely unaware of the strange lurker nearby. That's why I always hesitate when someone asks me to go to Disneyland.
Ever heard the advice to climb to a high place if you encounter a bear? Well, this video might make you think twice. Recorded by villagers, the footage unfolds with a group of men standing on the roof of a house, looking visibly frightened. One of them is wielding a long piece of log, presumably to fend off an approaching threat. Suddenly, the cause of their fear enters the frame. A hefty bear. The bear, determined and unfazed, climbs on the wheat stacks and uses them as a makeshift ladder to reach the roof. Witnessing this, panic ensues and everyone starts sprinting for their lives. The bear, seemingly irritated or agitated, picks a target and chases them off the roof. Despite the tense situation, some villagers appear to be smiling, suggesting they may have experience dealing with such bear encounters and knew how to handle the situation. In a world where the unexpected always seems to lurk just around the corner, Greece recently found itself as the stage for an extraordinary and downright bizarre spectacle. Watch yourself. This clip comes straight from the streets of Greece, where a protest was in full swing and riot control police had been called in to keep the peace. In the video, we see two policemen, fully geared up, standing there with looks of pure confusion plastered across their faces. And no, it's not the protesters that have them baffled. It's this thing. On the ground, right in front of them, is a strange ball-like creature. It's moving, almost like it's alive, but it has no head, no legs, no arms, nothing that resembles anything remotely human or animal. It looks like a rocky, slab-like mass, with mixed patches across its body. Honestly, it's one of the strangest things I've ever seen. Now, the skeptic in me is waving a flag, saying it's probably just a mass of crumpled papers caught in a gust of wind. But here's the thing, if it's not that, then maybe, just maybe, we're looking at something much weirder. Could it be that alien protesters are a thing now? Because if so, Greece might just hosted their first cosmic demonstration. We've all seen monsters in movies and shows, with terrifying designs that make our skin crawl. Thankfully, they are just fictional. Or what if I told you that some monsters already walk among us? Meet one of them. That thing is massive. This video, recorded by a hiker deep in the deer woods, shows what can only be described as a living, breathing monster, casually taking a stroll. At first, you might think it's just a lizard off in the distance, but as it gets closer, the reality hits. It's not just some tiny reptile. Nope, this is a gigantic, monstrous gator. And when I say massive, I mean beyond your typical adult alligator size. This one is like something out of a nightmare. A prehistoric beast that looks like it walked straight out of a lost world. You can almost feel the weight of its presence as it saunters through the trees, every slow, deliberate step adding to its menacing aura. It's not just walking, it's owning that forest, like it knows it's the apex predator around here. And honestly, what's this thing doing that deep in deer woods? I'm pretty sure the deer in that area must have developed some next-level survival instincts to avoid this guy. Thinking about going on a fishing trip, but don't have the skills to reel in a big catch. Well, a fish tsunami might just change the game for you. This wild footage comes from Thailand, where two friends set out on a casual fishing trip and ended up witnessing something that left them absolutely stunned. In the video, you can see an absolute madness unfolding. Thousands of fish launching themselves out of the water like they're at some kind of fish rave. They're crashing into each other, jumping out like hyperactive frogs, all while the water rushes downstream. It's completely bizarre. So, what in the world is going on here? Naturally, I had to dig a little deeper into this strange phenomenon, and it turns out it's called a fish migration, or more dramatically, a fish frenzy. This happens when a massive school of fish swims together in shallow waters, usually triggered by specific conditions. It can occur when fish are migrating upstream to spawn, or when they get trapped in an area after heavy rainfall or flooding. Whatever it is, one thing's for sure. I wouldn't mind if my next fishing trip got interrupted by something as wild as this. It's like nature's version of a free-for-all. The Loch Ness Monster may steal the spotlight when it comes to legendary sea creatures, but let's not forget about the Philippines' very own monstrous eel. Well, sort of. As the video starts, you see a family gathered around what appears to be an enormous, terrifying eel washed up on the shore. This thing is massive. Just look at the guy standing next to it for scale. Its appearance is straight out of a nightmare, with those googly eyes and a snake-like texture running the length of its body. But before you lose your mind, let me stop you right there. 'Cause this beast isn't real. Yep, it turns out this monstrous eel is nothing more than a well-crafted model. The video goes on to reveal how they made it from mud, painstakingly sculpting and painting it to look as lifelike and terrifying as possible. I've got to hand it to them. They did a killer job. But what if I had strolled down to the beach, ready for a nice dip in the water, and laid eyes on that thing? I swear it would be the last day of my life right then and there. Helping those in need is one of the most human things we can do, but sometimes lending a hand can land you in some pretty terrifying situations, just like what happened to this guard. This footage comes from an office's security camera, where we see a guard waiting by the elevator. But something is weird. While he's waiting, he starts making hand gestures and even seems to be talking to someone. The strange part? There's absolutely no one else in the frame. Just him. It's like he's having a full-on conversation with something completely invisible to the camera. It goes on for a few seconds until his radio goes off and suddenly, he sprints away like he's responding to an urgent call. At first glance, it's confusing, but things take a much darker turn when the guard later reveals that he had been talking to an elderly lady who needed help with the elevator. Like in the video, there's no one with him, just empty space, but the guard swears up and down that he was helping this lady. So, was this lady some kind of ghost or spirit? Whatever it was, it's pretty chilling to think about. You never know who or what you might end up helping. Always trust your gut. It could save you from something truly terrifying. Just like this mother, who had a sudden, inexplicable urge to check on her daughter. And when they later reviewed the Nanny cam footage, they were utterly horrified by what they saw.
What's this? Well aware of the outside noise, the rumors, the rumblings, the pressure. He said, listen.
In the Nanny cam video, it's 11 at night, and everything looks peaceful as the baby is about to drift off to sleep in her crib. At first, nothing seems out of the ordinary, but then the camera catches something disturbing. Now, this might seem like a normal shadow or reflection, but here's the chilling part. The mother swears that she and her husband were both in their bedroom at the time, and no one else was in the house. This figure's limbs were strangely bent, and while its outline and movements seemed humanoid, something about it was just off. Since the video went viral, people have been throwing out all kinds of theories in the comments, from ghosts to glitches. One comment stood out to me though. It offered a more logical explanation. Nanny cameras are notorious for lagging, and this commenter suggested that what we're seeing might just be a delayed recording of the mother herself, captured earlier by the glitchy feed. It makes sense, but let's be real. The thought of any unexplained figure showing up in your baby's crib is enough to send chills down your spine. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. Do you struggle to keep your furry friend's teeth clean? Well, this Russian dude has the ultimate tutorial, but be warned, his pets is a bit unusual. This video hails from Russia, where a mix of bravery and, well, questionable judgment led a man to record himself brushing his pet's teeth. And his pet, it's a massive bear. In the clip, you'll see the man calmly holding a glass of water to rinse the brush, while his enormous bear companion sits there, behaving like a docile baby. The man then proceeds to open the bear's mouth, without a hint of hesitation, and begins brushing those intimidatingly sharp fangs, all while the bear remains surprisingly cooperative. Despite the man's vigorous brushing, the bear stays cool and collected. It's both astonishing and surreal to watch. A bear sitting so still while its teeth are being cleaned. Whether this man is incredibly brave or a touch reckless, one thing's for sure. The Russians sure know how to make some unforgettable tutorials. Growing up, I was absolutely enchanted by the idea of mermaids. The tales of these mystical sea creatures captivated my imagination. Now this recent video just rekindled that magical wonder in me. This clip comes from a private beach where a tourist was initially focused on recording some intriguing horseshoe crabs lounging in the sand. As he panned the camera around to capture the scenic beauty of the beach, something extraordinary caught his eye. A humanoid head floating just above the water. At first, he thought it might be someone taking a leisurely swim, so he moved closer for a better look. What he discovered left him utterly stunned. What appeared before him was not just a person, but a being with a fish-like tail reminiscent of the mermaids from folklore. This humanoid figure, with its upper body shaped like a human, but adorned with a sleek aquatic tail, was gliding through the water with an ease that seemed almost otherworldly. The way this mermaid moved through the water was incredibly convincing, and the sight was nothing short of mesmerizing. It's moments like these that make you question what we thought we knew about the sea and its mysteries. Speaking of mermaids, the last video you saw displayed a breathtakingly distant and enchanting image of these mythical beings. But have you ever wondered what they'd look like up close? Spoiler alert, they're not as pretty as they seem. What on earth is that? This unsettling video, which has been circulating online, is seriously creeping out viewers. It features a truly horrifying humanoid sea creature with a human-like head and a lower body resembling a jellyfish. To make things even more unsettling, there's another variant shown. This one sporting a jellyfish-like hat on its head. The most chilling aspect of these creatures is their teeth and facial features. Those teeth are not just ferocious, they're downright menacing, and the facial features look straight out of a nightmare. These creatures seem like they've leaped right off the pages of a horror story. But here's a bit of relief. These are computer-generated imagery creations. Yes, these creepy mermaids are the result of some impressive and spine-chilling digital effects designed to give us nightmares. Kudos to the creators for crafting such a convincing scare. In recent weeks, there have been several notable developments in the United States concerning unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs. On November 14th, 2024, the Department of Defense released its annual report on UAPs, which mentioned over 700 reported UAPs. Just like in this video,
there's a red light and then there's a big bright light.
They're absorbing around it. I know, Ella.
Where the one that's...
Bro, I'm telling you, that shit, there was a shit ton of lights right now lit up. It's just hovering there. No way, bro. It's gone. No, it's still there. It's still there.
It's hiding in the clouds. I'm zooming in.
That's what my brother said. In the clouds. In the clouds.
Yes, I'm zooming in, babe. I can see the saucers in my zoom.
I know I can see it.
You can see it, Zaid, huh?
I can barely see it.
Many people have seen strange lights in the sky during the night. Some even distinguishing shapes that looked nothing like the aircrafts we are used to, while many cases were attributed to balloons, drones, satellites, and aircraft. A small percentage remain unexplained. For this video, I am not sure what to say of this. It certainly does not seem like an aircraft, since it is stationary and too bright. A balloon would not be visible. Same for the satellite, as we'd see it move rapidly across the sky, and its light would be barely observable, like that of a star. Could it be a drone? But why exactly were there so many? What were they doing at that hour in that place? This one is even more bizarre, as it seems like an organic bioluminescent floating brain.
Тут кучка, как вот переливается. Хрен знает, что там. Может... Но я такого вообще никогда не видел.
That displays shape-shifting and slow drifting movements. From the language in the video, I will assume it is nowhere near the USA. Does this mean it is a global phenomenon? Take a look at this UAP sighting in the broad daylight in Costa Rica.
Está todo el mundo viéndolo.
It looks exactly as a flying saucer, but its movements seem rather slow, aren't they? You can tell it's not a balloon because you can hear several gusts of wind throughout the video, and the object is completely unaffected. What do you think is the explanation for this sighting? Of course, perhaps the craziest sightings are coming from New Jersey, which seems to have been swarmed with the UAP sightings lately. Check out what this photographer caught.
It has a round, like, shield around it. Fucking nuts. Well, right, that's zoomed in, 100, 208. And I'll show you the drone right now. Up in the sky.
This UAP looks perfectly round, with a strange bioluminescent blinking. Personally, I have never seen any kind of drone looking like that. What do you think? Let me know if I am missing something. These people caught on camera several weird lights approaching from the skies. Just look at this.
Quiet.
Look at
That's
it.
a UFO,
Look at it. Look at
dude.
it on the camera. It's like a dome.
That's a UFO.
Quiet.
What the fuck? Like literally,
Look
dude,
at that
that's
thing.
weird in the sky right there.
Dude,
Are we watching a comet or shooting star falling?
No, that's not moving quick enough. There's no tail. That's a UFO.
There's no blue or red
Look,
lights.
something's coming off.
Dude, this is nuts.
Look at the UFO around it.
Look at the lights going off in two sides,
look,
though.
look, it's moving. Look at the lights are moving around it. What the fuck?
It's hovering.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I see that.
Look, it's going up. It's taking off. No fucking way.
What the?
What the fuck? It just went out to space.
What?
It just went out to space.
What the?
It just
fuck?
went out to space.
What the fuck?
Holy
oh my
shit.
god. Hey guys, Vandenberg.
What I think is strange is how frequent these sightings have become. In response to how often UAPs appeared over New Jersey and surrounding states, the Federal Aviation Administration implemented a ban on all drone flights in the region. So, if not a very advanced drone, then what exactly are we seeing in this video? But besides sightings of these UAPs, there have been reported some strange events going on with our radios as well. Just listen to what this guy caught on his radio.
The hell is that?
Sounds like a bizarre humming or growling sound. If you would listen to this with your eyes closed, you could swear it's some kind of creature growling. What exactly is this? Some sort of failure with the radio? Or something more bizarre? But with all these sightings, we need to keep an open mind. This photo has been uploaded many times over the past weeks. People claiming it is some sort of alien spacecraft. However, let me show you exactly what it is. Apparently, it is some sort of balloon with a weird shape. The light and the quality of the photo made it look metallic, making many believe it is yet another UAP. Keep a skeptic mind, folks. This next clip is fascinating for two reasons. First, it comes from a well-known conservative political activist and author, Charlie Kirk. Second, it's absolutely genuine. No foul play here.
Those are not airplanes.
Yeah, they keep circling.
They just keep circling. And they're gonna go away.
And there's nothing on your radar right now?
No, there's nothing there. I can zoom out.
Now the light's going out.
They're gone.
Have you ever seen anything like that before?
A couple times in this area. But
we're flying over New Mexico?
Yeah.
Which is Roswell, which is where all those...
Correct. It's where all the weird stuff happens. They're going to go again.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
They've been doing it for like the past hour.
What do you think they are?
Something was above them and not showing on radar. The disturbing part is that they are above New Mexico, where supposedly an UFO crashed in 1947 and alien bodies were found. Of course, it was all deemed as just a conspiracy theory, but that is a crazy coincidence.
They're at 100,000 feet?
They would have to be. The X-15 flew at 300,000 feet. Here they come again. They're coming around again. You can see the one. He's going to get bright, and then it's going to go away.
So they're above us significantly.
Look, he's going to get really bright. And then it's going to go away. The whole flight I've been wanting to call you up here, and I'm like, he's going to think we're crazy.
I'm seeing it myself, but look, your radar would pick it up if it was an aircraft, right?
Yes. There's one below us at 8,000 feet. There's another one below us at 6,000.
There's nobody out here on
200 miles. There's nobody.
But what kind of a thing would not be picked up on radar?
Yeah, exactly. Something stealth.
Could it be military?
I would think so. I think it has to be.
But why would they be just showing lights and doing stuff like that?
I don't know.
Those two dots are far above the aircraft, appearing and disappearing in a pattern. And more importantly, they're not detected on radar. These must be seriously stealthy objects to evade radar detection.
The satellites are a much higher orbit than that.
I don't know precisely how high the orbit is.
So is that again?
I would think, yeah.
They seem to be moving.
Exactly. One night Pete and I were flying, we swear they were dogfighting.
Really?
What it looks like. It looks like something out of Star Wars.
Have your other pilots ever seen anything like this?
We talked about it a little bit. Especially going over El Paso, down by White Sands through here.
This is really strange. Even the pilots believe it can't be satellites because they're circling around the same place and they would be way below the normal altitude. What we're seeing is at around 100,000 feet. For you to understand just how strange this is, normal planes usually go up to 43,000 feet. Only reconnaissance aircrafts reach that altitude. So, someone is secretly watching that area from above.
And no logical explanation.
The only logical explanation would be a satellite, but I don't know the satellite that does a circle in the same place. If they come again, you can almost see three of them. There's one.
Yeah.
They're lower on the horizon now.
It's like they're in formation now.
Yeah, exactly. And there's like one coming up behind us.
Yeah, there's two of them right there. And they're way ahead of us.
Yeah.
Could they be surveillance?
Yeah, my conspiracy theory mind just goes so crazy.
The question is, who's doing the surveillance? Humans or aliens? I don't see how we can just write these things off. I mean, there's definitely something there.
There's an ongoing debate on the internet about the existence of alien unknown flying objects, but videos like this one can certainly make you wonder. In this video, we're looking up at the cloudy sky, and we notice a remarkably strong bright light shining from within the clouds. This light is moving as if it were an aircraft, and it's so intense that it resembles a miniature sun. The light takes on an orb-like round shape. Some viewers who've seen this video suggest that it could be a UFO sighting. UFOs are often associated with emitting unusual lights and traveling at high speeds. However, it's essential to note that there's no clear, definitive evidence to confirm this as an actual unknown flying object sighting. On the other hand, there's also no straightforward explanation for the presence of this strange glowing orb in the sky. it remains a puzzling and intriguing sight that raises questions and sparks curiosity. If you have insights into what this might be, or if it's a rare natural phenomenon, please share your thoughts with others. At first glance, it's just a highway near a gas station. Nothing unusual here, right? Well, not exactly.
Что случилось в небе? Что за хуйня? Бля, сам в шоке. Что, весь город свет вырубило, да, только что?
Could it be some kind of alien technology? Honestly, it reminds me of Independence Day, when the spacecraft enters the atmosphere. Obviously not that massive, but still, whatever this is, I'm pretty sure it's no natural phenomenon. So, could it really be something from another world? If the last one had me guessing, this next one, if it's real, is almost certainly out of this world.
Oh! What is it?
Three bright orbs in the sky. How many times have we heard this before? It's practically folklore by now. From the Foo Fighters spotted by World War II pilots to the mysterious lights hovering over the Nazca lines. These sightings have been reported for centuries. But what are they? No one can say for sure. If you ask me though, it's got otherworldly written all over it. Witnesses in Baltimore are asking for help identifying a strange phenomenon that's left everyone completely shocked.
That is some kind of an artificial background, an artificial sky, yellow. Looks like wires, maybe? Yeah, that's trippy. That's trippy. Hold up, let me get another angle. Gotta see this. Look at this. Big time. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Get out of the way. Look at this.
It looks like some kind of magic being cast in the sky. Flames or flares spreading across the horizon. Almost as if the sun's rays are interacting with something in the atmosphere. It's got that eerie, unexplainable vibe to it. Almost like something otherworldly is happening up there. Some viewers are even claiming it's the veil being lifted by some higher power. But what do you think? Is it some cosmic anomaly, or is there something more behind it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. There are two types of people in the world, those who believe in aliens and those who don't. But this video, from 2002, it's enough to shock both sides.
Nada, es un espejismo que dimos.
¿Cómo apareció de repente?
No sé.
No se aprecia lo que sea. No. Es algo raro que vemos ahí, pero no se aprecia qué es lo que es.
At first, it looks like some kind of ship floating on the surface. But then, as the video jumps forward a minute, its shape has changed, and we're left staring at something otherworldly. The witnesses behind the camera are calling it a submarine. But come on, that thing doesn't look like any submarine I've ever seen. So, what in the hell was that? Is it an alien craft trying to invade us from the ocean depths? Or maybe, just maybe, they've been living there all along? This next video from Geneva Airport in Switzerland might just be the proof we've all been waiting for. There's definitely more to the sky than we know. Did you see that? It's like a small pod zipping across the sky at lightning speed. It's compact, round, and it looks just big enough to hold one or maybe two humans. Some believe these alien pods are actually created by mini UFOs. So, who knows? Maybe there was a mini UFO hovering around too. This footage could be genuine proof that our neighbors from beyond the stars have been sniffing around Earth. On April 29th, 2006, a passenger aboard a blue panorama flight from Rome to Paris captured something inexplicable through their window. The footage surfaced online, igniting debates among skeptics and believers alike. Some dismissed it as a hoax, while others saw it as undeniable proof of the unknown. CGI experts analyzed the footage frame by frame. If it's a fabrication, it's an exceptionally sophisticated one. The lighting, the shadows, everything aligns too perfectly. Retired pilots, recalling past experiences, have seen strange things in the sky they described similar to what you see in this footage. Could this be a glimpse into a hidden world? Nature is often beautiful, but sometimes it gets so weird it downright terrifies us. This clip, recorded by a homeowner in Papillion, Nebraska, captures eerie sounds coming from the sky, like someone dragging a heavy metal object across a floor.
What is that noise?
YouTuber Chilling Scares also covered these strange noises in one of his videos, noting similar sounds have been recorded worldwide. The most common is a persistent hum, first reported in the late 70s in Bristol, England. In some cases, these noises were so distressing that one person in the UK tragically ended their life. Logically, many of these sounds can be explained. In this case, it could be natural gas pressure releasing from a nearby well, or even a malfunctioning tornado siren during harsh weather. Whatever the cause, it's unsettling enough to give anyone chills. This Reddit user stunned the whole internet community by sharing this recent UFO sighting. The video, filmed on November 28th, 2023, over Tana, a village in Neath, Wales, shows a bizarre flying object which looked like a cube seemingly encased in a transparent sphere. Commenters are in a frenzy, with theories ranging from it being a UFO to a 5D object. The most intriguing is from one commenter that it's an NHI, non-human intelligence craft, potentially created by an advanced alien civilization. What do you think? Is this proof of something extraordinary, or just another mystery in the skies? For more strange and interesting footage, check this out.